As we get into these trumpet judgments, a few things we need to mention here. The first four of them here in verses 7 to 13. Let me just read a few things about them. It says, the first sounded, and there came hail and fire mixed with blood, and they were thrown to the earth. And a third of the earth was burned up, and a third of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. And the second angel sounded, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood, a third of the creatures. Notice again how it's always a third down through here. Now, I won't read through the whole passage there, but let me just say this. One of the big questions is, how do we interpret these judgments here? There's three different ways primarily that commentators understand these judgments, at least those who take it primarily in more in a futuristic way. One is, a lot of people take this symbolically. They'll say that the grass here represents the masses of mankind. The trees represent leaders. The sea is godless mankind. The mountain is a great nation. The fallen star is Satan or the Antichrist. The sun and the moon and the stars represent ruling authorities that God is going to bring down. So they engage in a lot of symbolism and see this as referring to these different things that God will do in mankind and leaders and ruling authorities and all of that. The problem to me with that method of interpretation is that raises to me a quagmire of interpretive problems. You know, how do you know that's what the grass is or that's what the trees are? You know, I could say, well, I think the grass means this or the trees mean that. And to me, it just opens up really people to just kind of use their fertile imagination to come up with what they want these things to mean. The other thing is, to me, again, there's no indication here in the text that these are symbols. Grass is grass, trees are trees, stars are stars. There's not something in the text to me that indicates to us that these are symbolic. So I don't think that's the best way to take these trumpet judgments. A second view that's been popular in recent times is the nuclear view. A lot of people say this describes nuclear war. You think about this is one of the main events in the 20th century is the rise of nuclear power and our ability to destroy this world. So they would say, look, you read through here, this looks exactly like what would happen if there was a nuclear war. And the fact that it only affects a third of the world here, all these judgments affect a third of the world, that could be the part of the world where this nuclear fallout is being experienced. So some people hold this nuclear view, and certainly that's possible when you read the passage. But as I read this text, I take a third view, and that is it's often called the supernatural view. And that is that these are things that God is bringing on the earth. These are plagues that God is bringing, just like the plagues of Egypt. And the reason I hold that view is, again, because there's nothing in the text to indicate it's symbolic. And 3 of the first 4 of these trumpet judgments are duplications of the Egyptian plagues. Well, the Egyptian plagues were supernatural judgments from God.
Hey friends, there's so much more to it than just that. I just picked one little section of this entire course that is 30 sessions long. You can get this for free right now at credocourses.com, or go directly to this page that is this is offered for free at isthisTheLastDays.com. There's all kinds of courses to check out, look around, and have fun.